is up, YouTube? Fragrance community, Nick here with Consumer This. Today we are going to do a top 5 video. Yes, a top 5. Now it is springtime, and generally your top 5 videos, you're going to see top 5 spring, favorite 5. I don't generally go off of spring, fall, winter, summer fragrances, right? I go into my closet depending on how I feel, and I just pick up what I feel like wearing that day. Now I do have favorite notes. I love sandalwood, I love woody, smoky, leathery, spicy, kind of sweet fragrances. Those are generally my go-to scents. Now I do agree with certain categories. So let's say you're going to a job interview, or you don't want to have something too loud like Black Afghano caked on. Let's say you're going on a date, La Nuit de l'Homme, nighttime, so I do agree there's a time and a place for certain fragrances. I definitely agree with that, but I work in an office, so I'm generally in a controlled environment where it's 70 degrees year-round for me, and it's cool. So I can really wear whatever I feel like wearing. I am just passionate about fragrances. I have 160 bottles, I think, right now, if that means anything. But right now I just kind of want to show you my top 5. The top 5, I just opened up my closet. I didn't plan this out or nothing. I just was like, alright, let me pick a top 5 spring category fragrance and let's make a top 5 video. So here we are. Okay guys, so for the first number 1 out of 5 fragrance that I highly enjoy around this time of the year is none other than Allure Home Sport. Now this is not to get confused, guys, with the version of just Allure Home Sport. As you can see right there, this is the Cologne Sport. Now that makes a huge difference, guys. This is not the EDT version, EDT concentration. This is EDC concentration. Now, most people that will turn off, they'll be like, oh, I don't want an EDC because it doesn't last. Now, generally, that is the case. EDCs, for me at least, only last maybe a couple hours at that. And it's a shame because they generally smell the best for, a light, fresh, citrus type of fragrance. But in this case, it proves that theory wrong. This particular fragrance will last easily 4 to 6 hours, and that is very good for this particular type of genre. Now, according to Fragrantica, which is where I get most of my information, and I'm also an active member. I participate with a lot of reviews and stuff on there as well. The category is a citrus, aromatic, fresh, spicy, woody, fresh scent. I have smelled most of the Allure line by Chanel, and I'm honestly not that big of a fan of the silver bottle with the black cap, the Allure Home Sport, for some reason. Same goes for just the Chanel Allure. There's only 2 that I'm a fan of. It's this one and another one I'll show you. But this particular one, it's not overly complex. It just has a great citrus, fresh smell to it. Definitely get your nose on it. And wow, I'm looking here. This has a lot of love. Yeah, your top notes: aldehydes, orange, mandarin, orange grapefruit, neroli, bergamot, and lemon. Your middle notes consist of spices and fir resin. And the base notes are tonka bean, atlas cedar, vetiver, white musk, and pepper. What a great combination and line of notes. I mean, that is just phenomenal. And even on here, the users rate the longevity, moderate, right in the middle. There's some people saying long lasting, 32, 11 are very long lasting, and the sillage, moderate. You know, that's 75, 36 say heavy, enormous 14. See, because there are other people that this works on them like it works on me. Now there is a comparison to Dior Homme Sport, which and the O Sport or whatever, the newer one. I'm not gonna really agree there, but to each their own. You know, it's definitely in the same category as those, but it's not the same, of course. All right, that is number 1, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne Sport EDC. All right, guys, number 2. Number 2 is a special fragrance to me. I was actually in Von Maur one day, just kind of smelling around the counter, and I first ran into this house there, and I had no idea who they were. I noticed the price was a little higher than most designer fragrances. I got my smartphone out, got on Fragrantica, and sure enough, I found that this is a very, very quality house. It is none other than Diptyque, and the fragrance is Tam Dao. Now, this is the EDP version. There's an EDT version, which not only does it cost less, but obviously, if you're watching this, I'm sure you know about fragrances, and the Eau de Toilette EDT has less oil, less concentration. EDPs have more oil, which is a higher concentration, therefore it generally is going to last longer. This fragrance is one of the best sandalwood fragrances in my opinion. It's just one of those sweet fragrances, not too sweet, but it's just that it's like a woody, just warm, creamy, fresh wood, manly, masculine scent. And it lasts, guys. It will last for this particular genre that usually fade pretty quick. Now, according to Fragrantica, this is a woody, balsamic, warm, spicy, powdery, aromatic fragrance. It also shares a lot of love from the community. It was launched in 2003. It says Tam Dao by Diptyque is a floral, woody, musk fragrance for men and women. So they're saying it is unisex. I'm gonna say I can see some women pulling this off. I guess to me it's more masculine. And that's just my opinion. It's a wonderful fragrance though, and see, launched in 03. Okay, so your top notes are rose, myrtle, and Italian cypress. Your middle notes are sandalwood and cedar, and that sandalwood is just creamy. Ooh, so good. Your base notes are spices, amber, white musk, and Brazilian rosewood. Here you have in the middle the moderate. There's 111 people for longevity, which is very good. You're in the moderate on stillage as well. Now this is going to depend on your skin type, how much you apply. There's a lot of variables, guys, when it comes to longevity, projection, and all of that. So definitely keep that in mind. Diptyque Tam Dao, wonderful fragrance. Get your nose on it. Alright guys, our number 3 spot is going to go to the house of Dior. Yes, Christian Dior. This is none other than the infamous Dior Sauvage. Oh, I don't know where to start with this. This is a wonderful fragrance, and it's going to cause some controversy, especially being on this list. When it first came out, it got a lot of hate, got a lot of flack. I have no idea why. I get more compliments on this fragrance than almost any fragrance, in my whole entire collection. It is just the candidate, one of the best fragrances for springtime. It's very non-offensive. It lasts forever. I mean, it just has a very long-lasting effect to it. This is really cool too to add. This has a magnetic cap, like a lot of homages have. Kind of a cool little thing that they do there. I love the bottle. It's really cool. This is a 50 milliliter, of course. But this has notes of amber, fresh, spicy, citrus, warm, spicy, aromatic, and musky. Like I said, this is like one of those fragrances like, what's that? Bleu de Chanel. When it first came out, no one really liked it, and now it's like the #1 recommended fragrance at any fragrance counter. And when this fragrance first came out, also, might I add, it had like all dislike and no love. And as of right now, April 18th of 2016, this video is being recorded, the love is all the way up and the dislike is pretty much even with it. But this is kind of, I guess, a love or hate fragrance. It came out in 2015. Let's see if I can find the notes here for this. Top notes of Calabriana, Bergamot. Yeah, Calabria. Okay, Bergamot, and Ambroxan, obtained from precious ambergris in its woody trail. So really, I'm not really getting any notes. I see pepper, lavender, woods. I'll have to kind of do some more information in regards to the notes on this, but this isn't really like a in-depth detail. This is just a top 5 and why. But you know, this is definitely a very, very, very wonderful smelling. Just, I guess if I had to kind of describe this fragrance, Sauvage is kind of reminiscent of like a certain type of deodorant, and when you get out of the shower and you have that fresh, clean smell and you just apply deodorant, kind of that vibe, but very, very unique and strong, and just a very clean, fresh, manly, masculine smell. Like, you know, when you're thinking of the store of Abercrombie and how good it smells and it has that certain vibe, it's kind of like that vibe. It does not smell anything like Abercrombie, so do not quote me on that. I'm just talking about nuances and vibes. Check this one out, guys. It's still out. It's on tester bottles at your local, you know, Macy's. Get your nose on it. I guarantee you, just don't go in it caring what the reviewers say about this one. Including myself, you might hate this fragrance, but I'm telling you, man, if I would have went off everyone else's reviews and never smelled this, I would have missed out on a great fragrance. This is in my top 20 all-time favorite fragrances. Dior Sauvage. Okay, and number 4. This is by the House of Chanel again. And this is no surprise because I told you I was going to show this to you in a minute, and here it is. Now guys, this is Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Now, this is very, very, very important to know that they made a EDT version of this, and they made an EDP version of this. And they smell totally different, and I had to pay a little bit extra since the EDT version is discontinued. They do not make it anymore. You have to get this right here, this EDT version. I don't know if you can see that. It's not, yep, out of the toilet. You will have to find this on the gray market, whether that be Fragrantica, whether that be eBay like I did. And it is going to be about 120 bucks or so because, well, they don't make it anymore. So it's, but it's worth it, okay? It is a creamy, this EDT is just a creamy, wonderful version of the EDP. It lasts a little bit longer in my opinion. It smells a little bit fresher. This falls under the citrus, aromatic, woody, vanilla, powdery, balsamic as far as the main accords go. This one has a ton of love. This was also created by Jacques Pouge. He is a very, very, very well-known perfumer. Let's Let's see here. Now, this says the first level brings spicy aromas of black pepper united with pink pepper from Madagascar. The second level brings fresh aromas with the scent of leather, Sicilian lemon, Calabrian bergamot, and sandalwood. That gives it depth, it says. And the third level, which I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably the base, they're just, you know, putting it in that category. It introduces Oriental accords with Brazilian tonka, white musk, Haiti vetiver, and sandalwood. It says this level also reveals aromas of ginger and velvety vanilla wrapped in amber. Oh wait, there's another level. The fourth level brings woody accords of cedarwood, which add to the masculine character of this fragrance, which I can totally see. I think they just nailed that description of this fragrance. But all in all, get your nose on it. It's wonderful. It smells phenomenal. And that is the Allure Home Edition Blanche version by Chanel. Last but not least, guys, I am kind of saving the best for last in a way because it's just a very unique fragrance. I've seen some of reviews of this fragrance on some winter lists, but in my opinion, I think that this fragrance is going to work a little bit better when it's a little warmer out, so spring. This is a niche fragrance, and this is by Room 1015, guys, and it is called Electric Wood. Electric Wood is very, very complex, okay? It's a woody, amber, fresh, spicy, musky, and powdery. Those are the main accords, of course. It's a newer fragrance. This came out in 2015. And it was created by Emilie Bourgeos and Anne-Sophie Bahaligur. And the top notes are ambroxan and cedar. Middle notes are oak and resins. Base notes are iris and nutmeg. And the iris and ambroxan and cedar and ambroxan tie together pretty well in this, but they mix with the iris in this fragrance and just create a beautiful kind of citrusy vibe in a way, kind of like a, oh man, electric wood. I mean, it does. Like, if you've ever smelt wood get really hot, like, try to imagine a very hot guitar, like wood, like electric wood guitar that got really hot, and there's like, and it's really like ashy dry, with a little bit of like citrus in the background. That is exactly what this smells like, but it is just so unique. It's eau de parfum. It lasts a long time for what it is. I highly, 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 guys, recommend you to get your nose on this. It's very, very unique. Do not pay attention to where it says this perfume reminds me of Terre de Hermes, because it doesn't. It does not smell like that at all. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fragrance. Please get your nose on this, guys, and you will definitely be in for a treat. And that's Electric Wood by Room 1015. Alright, guys, so that concludes the top 5 fragrances for spring that I currently would advise or encourage you to go out and get some samples. Lucky Scent, Scent Bar out in California, their website's awesome. They carry mainly niche fragrances, but there's a lot of websites that you guys can go to, and they will have, for $2, you can sample, you know, fragrances, even ones that are discontinued, like that Chanel Edition Blanche. Definitely, I encourage you guys to get some samples. Try them out. They're wonderful. This list, like I said, it's kind of non-planned. It was just, I went into my closet and I was like, let's do a top 5 video, because it's my first top 5 video and I'm new to this. So, sorry it went over. Kind of a long video, but, you know, I did review many reviews of 5 fragrances. So, please rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching Consumer This. And God bless you guys. Peace.